Hi. No, wait. What is it? Greetings, spooks. And welcome to the Friday night Spooktacular visual novel stream. My name is Matthew. I am one of the co-hosts of Book Club for Masochists, a reader's advisory podcast where we read a different genre every month, whether we like it or not. Right now, we're reading business nonfiction, which, let me tell you, I do not enjoy. And that episode will be out at the beginning of next month. We're recording it quite soon. Our most recent podcast episode was actually very different for us. We played the game Happy Birthday Dracula, which is kind of like an improv game, RPG sort of thing, where you're a monster and you're trying to get guests to go to Dracula's party. It's fun. You can check it out. You can go to bookclubform.com or just search for Book Club for Masochist on your favorite podcaster thing. But today, this evening, we're playing Devil's Door, a visual novel that is part of the Spooktober visual novel jam. And I'm joined this evening by my friend and occasional co-host, podcast co-host, Amanda.
Hi, my name's Amanda. I've been on the podcast. I was one of the original members on Book Club for Masochists, and I was a regular contributor for the first year or so. Yep. And more of an occasional contributor since then.
Yes. And
I would like to know.
Sorry.
I would like to know today who's going to play the devil and who's going to play the door.
I don't know. Sadly, no dating in this. We won't be able to pick what door we want to go to the Halloween prom with or whatever. But there are some spooky stuff, I guess, in this one. You also did a couple of streams with me back in August, though those were more like mystery detective sort of things. So this is very different. This is the first game this month that we'll be playing that is not like a dating game. And we're playing it because we were asked by the creator to play it. So I'm like, sure, why not? Like, that doesn't happen very often. Let's go for it. So Devil's Door. So apparently there's a warning right here. Game contains depictions of violence, blood, gore, and disturbing imagery. It also contains sudden and or disturbing audio and the use of foul language. Player and viewer discretion is advised. I don't know how much of this...
you don't like blood and gore.
Yeah, the person actually apologized. They're like, I know you don't like scary stuff, but maybe you'd like to play my game anyway. And I'm like, I'll see what it's like. Let's see what this is. Hopefully it's not too scary. But let's get going with this. Okay. By what name shall we call you? Okay, so I've thought about this really long and hard.
Mr. Thunderpants.
I think the name I'm going to go with as the default name is Ray.
Okay.
Oh, hey, yo mammies. Thanks for following the channel. Ray as in RA, Reader's Advisory, which is what the podcast is about theoretically. And so this is the terrible pun name. I've asked people for suggestions, but I haven't gotten any others. But I thought this one worked fairly well, at least. If you have other Reader's Advisory library pun names that you could go for names, please let me know.
I like it.
We're gonna be Ray. I don't know who should be doing which voice. Oh, spooky eye. Ooh, spooky. I do like the color scheme. Black and red, always a win in my books. Ray. Mm-hmm. Ray. Am I doing something wrong?
No, I think it's just like Ray.
Oh.
Ray.
I'm so happy to talk to you. I've been waiting to meet you again. All this time, watching you has gotten me lonely. I want to be with you. Soon, darling. It could be the devil. This could be their door. You'll be able to join my world. I kind of wish that it was like the devil's door was like you were the devil, the main character, and it was just people kept knocking on your door and bugging you about stuff. And you're just like, it's my day off. Why do people keep coming?
It's a Sunday, people.
It's the day of rest. This is what God said. He made us all.
The Lord's day of rest.
Even devils yet the day off. Okay, soon. Much more normal bedroom. Okay, so I will read the Ray character, and you can read the other stuff from now on, I think. Does that work?
Okay, we'll try that.
Okay. Another day waking up to dry mouth and a dull headache. I laid an arm across my face, blocking the glare of the sunlight from creeping through the windows ahead of me. Unfortunately, I still hadn't gotten around to buying curtains, or much of any decor for that matter, considering the bare state of my new room. Wow, I feel kind of called out now.
There's a whole bulletin board there. There's
I
poster
know,
on the
but
wall.
like, note the wall behind me, which has literally nothing on it. And like, if you look over to my left, there's no curtains in my window. Yes, this game is voiced, but we're playing it without the voices. So if you play it yourself, you will hear the voices. But I like if I'm playing with, especially with a guest co-host, then I think it's more fun for us to read out the voices. So if you want to actually experience the voices, you can download it yourself, I guess. Unfortunately, I still hadn't gotten around to buying curtains. Okay, yep. That's right, my room. I guess I still couldn't believe it. Just a month ago, I was living 2,000 miles away from here, back with mom and pop. Mom and pop. Wow. Sorry, that's just so like American to me.
From the south of the US or something? Yeah.
I don't know where they say pop. It was finally time to pack up for college, and instead of choosing the local state university, I decided to listen to my adventurous side and left to attend a small rural college instead. It wasn't particularly prestigious, but it was in my budget. That's a pretty fancy, better like dorm room, I think. Like, look at that window.
I know.
Prior to this, I really hadn't spent time away from my family all that much. We were tight-knit, and it's not like I wanted to get away from them either. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Fair. That was it. I wanted to see if I could live, work, and study independently from my parents. I mean, they always supported me well enough, but I was still a child in their eyes, and it only became more apparent the more I grew up. So here I was, making it work out here in a countryside town for once. I still didn't know if I had made the right choice. I lived with my parents during undergrad. I went. It was the cheapest university, and when I eventually did move out, I was further away from the university than when I lived with my parents. A notification sound interrupted my thoughts. Answer it or ignore it. Oh, decisions already. What do you think we should do?
Answer it.
Okay, answer it. I reached out to grab the noisy object, but just as it was in my grasp, the rings proceeded to keep repeating again and again. The frenzy of back-to-back calls told me all I needed to know about the caller. Whoa, like someone's calling us? This is terrible.
I hate
Ash.
calls.
I think everybody at this point hates calls, Amanda.
Text me. Like I don't want to answer the phone.
Yep. With a tired groan, I push myself up to get decent. Any minute now, and the little devil will come barging in, I assume, but still, come barg.
Barg.
Okay, this is you.
Dude, pick up your phone for once.
Barging in.
Right.
I sighed, unable to feign excitement toward my uninvited guest. How about I do that after you learn that spamming my phone with calls won't make me any more likely to actually answer? I think it would make them considerably less likely to answer.
Yeah.
I'll consider it.
I'll consider it.
Yeah, I could hear the voice there pretty quietly, but we'll just keep reading it out.
If you consider throwing out your wardrobe and
If you consider throwing out your wardrobe and setting it on fire.
Ouch. Especially coming from this person, from a person looking like this. They have very, like, their fashion choice is fine, but, like, if they're dissing our outfit, then, like, I'm really curious as to what it looks like. Because it could mean, like, so many things.
Is that really what you wear to bed? What, is he, like, too much, or is Ray too much of a normie?
It could be. I huffed and pushed past her to grab a fresh shirt from the closet, suddenly embarrassed of my band tee circa 1960s. Is it from the 60s or just a band from the 60s?
That sounds cool.
I disagree, but I think we have very different music tastes. Oh, right. Or maybe you should get some proper taste in music one of these days.
I was just kidding.
Ha! I was just kidding. I actually like that band. The Kinkies? What? It's just too easy to pick on you sometimes.
Relieved at hearing her words, I smiled softly before turning my back towards her and looking over my shoulder. So, can you get out for a minute so I can get dressed already?
What? You mean I
don't get a front row seat to see you in all your glory?
Talk about a ripoff.
Oh, that's me. Talk about a ripoff.
No problem. Ash laughs jokingly, pivoting to leave before she noticed the ensemble I had laid out on my bedside.
Wait, you can't be serious.
Wait, you can't be serious.
I'm so curious as to what it is.
Where's your costume?
Okay, if this person is not wearing a costume for Halloween, that's unacceptable. Oh, maybe this is this person's costume. What do you think they're dressed up as?
Okay, well, there's like a caution symbol or something on the chest, or like a no symbol, stop symbol.
My guess is Pokemon trainer.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know Pokemon trainers very well, but I feel like this aesthetic
is that a cigarette in her mouth?
I honestly can't tell. It could be.
And a Band-Aid on her
Band-Aid on
face.
cheek, yep.
It's Halloween, dummy.
You think I dressed like this?
You think I dress like this for shits and giggles?
Okay, so this isn't their usual garb. Well, I really wouldn't put it past you. And newsflash, we're at 19, Ash. I think it'll be fine if I don't show up to my college class in a clown attire. Ugh. I always showed up to all of my classes in clown attire on Halloween.
That just proves how you know nothing about this town, Ray.
I won 2 university Halloween costume contests.
I have no doubt.
One in undergrad and one in grad school.
Yeah, I was going to say, and possibly some in grad school too.
Just the one in grad school, but yeah, one in each. I scoffed. Yeah, like you know everything about it. Moving here a few months before me doesn't really give you expert certification or anything.
4 months is plenty of time.
4 months is plenty of time to collect evidence. Especially in a spooky place like Marbrook.
I wonder how spooky it is. I wonder why it's spooky. I'm really curious to find out. There it was. Evidence. Ash treated our daily lives living in Marbrook like some detective game. Oh, maybe it is a detective game, Amanda.
Yes!
Since meeting her, I've had to listen to my fair share of conspiracy theories about the town and all the people here. So there are like 7 bad endings and 1 good ending to this game.
Oh, really?
So if we get an ending, I think it's probably going to be a bad ending. Just based on previous experience with these things. Sure, the townspeople were pretty closed off, as if they had been living happily in their circle and any visitors were less than welcome. But that didn't mean they were all loonies. I often tried to convince her to be less judgmental, especially since both our families came from big cities. I mean, that's how it is in the country, right? Taking things slow was to be expected. At least, that's what I read on ireadit.com. I wonder if that's a real website.
I think it's a play on Reddit.
I'm sure it is, but like, I wonder if it's actually real. Too tired to push back, I simply nodded along instead. Yep, aliens, werewolves, such and such.
Suit yourself. Just know I'll be ready with some silver while you hide away in La La Land, pretending it doesn't exist.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can.
Is something gonna happen?
Sure. I'm just gonna turn off the background stuff because I can't actually hear the audio underneath you, the voicing. So hopefully it's gone now. Ha! That's even more incredible. How's a 10-foot slobbering monster with razor teeth and claws gonna be scared off by your grandma's necklace?
Anaphylactic shock, duh. They're allergic, genius.
Oh, like how vampires are allergic to garlic? Got any proof of that besides the great tellings of your campy romance novels? We on my podcast, Book Club for Masochists, we do also do romance novels every February. So we have several episodes of those if you want to hear me be very sad about reading romance novels I did not enjoy. Our other co-hosts do enjoy them a lot more than I do. So if you like romance novels, you can listen to them, enjoy them, and me not enjoy them. A knock on the door cut off her next rebuttal. Just a minute, come in. Let's just invite this person in, I think.
Yeah, because I want something to happen here. Like, nothing's happening.
Well, that's what happens in these games. Nothing happens a lot. It's just a lot of dialogue. Expecting who it was, I sat back on my bed and called out an invitation. I like that we're like trying to get changed, and we're just like, okay, more people can come in, whatever.
It's college, man. That's how it works.
True. Yeah, we'll just get changed in front of these people in like a second.
Hey, Ms. Moore. Keeping it up, I see. Rosie the Riveter.
Oh, yeah.
Love you.
Love
your costume. Sorry, it was really slow to load.
I really like both of these they are costumey, but they're also like normal enough that they could just be how people dress.
No, totally. At first I was just like, oh yeah, that's just how she's dressing.
Yeah.
It's college.
Yeah. Aunt Moore came in dressed in a classic navy blue button down that tied at her waist. Her hair was wrapped up in a polka dot bandana that announced her costume identity quite plainly. Except that I didn't notice right away.
To some people.
As an independent woman living and working by herself in the countryside, Rosie the Riveter's flair worked more to reveal my aunt's inner self rather than masking it. Aunt Moore beamed at the compliment and bounced excitedly.
Really? Ah, yes. I'm so happy it landed. And I love your costume too, Ash. Ghost Smashers, right? Oh, of course, Ghost Smashers.
Who knows what that is? Is it real? It could be.
I think it's also a play on like Ghostbusters, eh?
Yeah, probably. Her words trailed off, and Aunt Moore's brows started to knit together upon some realization.
Ashlyn Garrett Mayfield, is that a cigarette in your mouth?
So you were right, Amanda. It was.
In my house?
Oh, okay. So we're not in a dorm. We're in someone's house. So that makes more sense.
No. Renting a room in a house. Well, Ms. Moore, it's just bubblegum. I gotta stay true to the character. Authenticity is everything.
I couldn't imagine a more fitting scene between these two. Between Aunt Moore's rash conclusions and Ash's bullheadedness, the two of them made for a high-strung match made in heaven.
Oh, all right. 10 points for Ash. You can reclaim them for a donut on me sometime.
One of my friends on Twitter was complaining about the different ways to spell donut this week.
Yeah, not my.
And we came up with the idea that for like really large donuts, you have to spell it like DOUGHNAUGHT, like just the longest as possible. Like, and it's like a dreadnought, like the big ships, except it's a donut. So it's a donut. And it's the like one's as big as your head. Yeah, I think I really wish some donut place actually started using it.
No probs, Miss M.
They may have been two basket cases with more than a few holes, but they were the closest people to me here in Marbrook. Once my parents found out about my desperate attempts to move out of the city, they pushed for me to consider the Rift Valley Institute, the college I currently attended.
So not that independent then. Like,
yeah, true. I'm living with my aunt. Aunt Moore, or Adrena as Mom called her, was an unwed sister living on the old farmland their father had brought.
The main character started out, I'm so independent, I wanted to seek out the country, and really it's just like their parents arranged it all for them.
Yeah. After meeting my father, Mom moved to my hometown to build a life while Aunt Moore started working as a rancher. Since then, she scored a few entrepreneur deals and has been living pretty comfortably by herself. The free-spirited lifestyle she lived along with her eccentric manners kind of made her the black sheep of the family. In a way, I think sending me out here to her was a way to keep her close and keep my living costs low.
Well, Ray, what do you think? Aren't I just riveting?
Oh my gosh.
I get it.
Yeah.
Way too corny.
Do you want to go with that answer or the most riveting?
The most riveting. Sure.
I'm willing to compliment them. I think puns are terrible, but I'm willing to like compliment.
I like a feisty lady.
Yeah. You're the most riveting riveter to have ever riveted, Auntie.
Your sarcasm will only take you so far, Ray. It was a genuine compliment.
It was. I smiled. Aunt Moore's positive energy helping me ready myself for the day.
Well, I don't see your costume. You should get ready. I have some jack-o'-lantern pancakes made downstairs. They're getting cold as we speak.
What's a jack-o'-lantern pancake?
No idea.
Just like a pancake shaped like a jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah, with a little stem on top, I guess.
I guess so.
You too, Ash.
Maybe dyed orange?
Yeah, maybe. Actually, Ray here doesn't have a costume set.
The monster. I say that I don't have a costume, but that's because all of my costume stuff is in Las Vegas, and I am not in Las Vegas.
You'll figure out something, I know you.
Yeah.
We have class in an hour, too. Well, all that means is we got a trip to be making. I'll pack the pancakes to go. I want an Aunt Moore in my life.
Yeah, who's like, okay, it is it's like 9 o'clock on like a Tuesday morning. We need to go and get you a Halloween costume right now. Aunt Moore hops down the hall and I hear her singing all the way to the kitchen downstairs. I sigh loudly. I guess we're doing this. Can you give me a few to get situated? As in like put on pants? I've got this headache that won't leave me alone.
Again? Isn't this like the third week in a row? Is this foreshadowing? Are you sure it's not your blood pressure or something?
It's probably just anxiety. Yeah, I had a checkup at the school infirmary. They told me that much at least. I think I'm just having a hard time with sleep. Residual jet lag does not last that long.
Really? I mean, we don't have to go. Hell, we can ditch class altogether. It would be a good time to eat through the hoard of snacks I've been collecting.
Though she maintained an uninterested expression, I smiled at the sincerity in her voice. Between the Illuminati rabbit holes and her rants about how Alexa Wakerson had to be a demon in human flesh, it wasn't often you'd find Ash acting sentimental. Is Alexa Wakerson a real person? Have you ever heard of that person?
I've never heard of that person, but I am not the person to ask. I do not know.
Maybe they're a character in the game. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like I don't know. If it's not a comic book, I don't know about it. Don't worry about it. I'll get over it soon enough. I'll ask Aunt Moore for some ibuprofen. We've got some pumpkin-flavored pancakes to get to after all. I thought they were going to say pumpkin-flavored ibuprofen. I could have sworn her face got a shade or two more red, but Ash looked away before I could get a good look.
Is that how you interpreted it? Pumpkin-shaped pancakes come to mind instead?
Well, even better. As Ash left the room, I made sure I looked presentable for the day and brought along my wallet and backpack. We had just under an hour to finish costume shopping to make it to our history class. Being late to Ms. Ellsworth's class was definitely not something I wanted to do. Huh. I guess like an adjunct. Partially because she was a rather strict teacher and, well, other reasons too.
What are the other reasons?
She's a witch. All ready to leave, I closed the door behind me and we headed off to the nearest Hallows Town store. What? I don't know. Okay. I think Hallows Town must be like a fictional chain of Halloween shows.
Yeah.
The Hallows Town store wasn't far, and the three of us made a fun ride of the short trip. Pumpkin-shaped pancakes in tow. Okay, what have we got? We've got a wizard hat, top hat, chef hat.
Can I just say they've called them pumpkin-shaped and pumpkin-flavored in multiple places.
I think
Which
the
one?
pumpkin-flavored was what my character was assuming, but they were actually just pumpkin-shaped.
But she said pumpkin-shaped, and then Ray assumed pumpkin-flavored.
Yeah. I think
that really affects whether you want to eat one or not.
Definitely. Well, like I'll probably eat them anyway. What's the fourth hat? The red one with stripes?
Circus?
Could be. Cat, dead cat, poop hat, witch hat, pig mask, chicken mask. That looks like a
trick or treat bags, monster,
vampire, like
Frankenstein,
werewolf or rat or something.
Yeah.
Wig, eyeball, unicorn horn.
Yeah.
Superhero mask, clown mask.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Butterfly wings, bat wings, fish, nunchucks. What are you choosing, Amanda? If you have to choose one.
What?
If you had to make a costume out of these things, what are you choosing?
Oh, bat wings.
Yep. That is also what I would choose. Bat wings, definitely.
Bat wings, pink wig, and unicorn trick or treat bag.
Nice. I think I might go bat wings.
Unusual choice for me. I don't usually go for pink.
Bat wings. Well, like everything's kind of pink in this picture.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the bat wings. Bat wings, witch hat, and I think I would take the giant fish. I don't know what it's for. But I'm like, this is my familiar, a giant goldfish. Upon entering, though, I was reminded why I wanted to avoid Halloween altogether. A dramatic organ tune played as I passed the red sensors of an animatronic skeleton, its arms reaching out to grab me. I stepped through a maze of nuclear green spider webbing and caution tape only to enter a field of zombie graves, and we hadn't even reached the costume section yet.
Their Halloween stores are way cooler than ours.
I've been in ones that are like this. Eerie music echoed from the speakers as I coughed past multiple fog and smoke machines. Ugh, why everyone was so enamored with Halloween I couldn't understand. Oh, you fool. It was the same every year. Oh, that's the point. The decorations were ridiculous. There were rarely any actual meals to be had, and it resulted in one of the greatest abominations Earth had to offer, candy corn.
On that point, I agree.
I don't really care for candy corn. There are many other better candies. I couldn't help another sigh and pushed forward, hoping to get this done quickly.
So when you went trick-or-treating as a kid, did you go trick-or-treating as a kid? Did you grow up in the UK?
I lived in Canada as well. We went trick-or-treating in Canada.
But in the UK, they don't have it there. I
did not go trick-or-treating in the UK, no.
Yeah.
I think they do now. Well, not this
year.
But in more recent years they have. Because like American culture is so prevalent everywhere that like okay, I have to get through this because it's making an annoying noise. Losing my footing, I stumbled back into a rack of scythes and bloody axes, knocking one of them over. Ugh, and this. The ever-constant need for all the people around you to come up and scare you as if they were paid to do so. Yeah, no, in Canada, the important factor of like, does your Halloween costume fit over your snowsuit?
Yeah.
Or like, because otherwise your costume, like you won't be able to see any of it. And so like, it's not really fun.
Yeah, or you'll just freeze.
Yeah, well, like parents will not allow you to do that when you're like, 9.
Well, true.
Of course.
But do you have a favorite candy?
So in Canada, they're called Rockets. And in America, I think they're called Smarties.
Oh, those are so gross.
Yep. I'm happy to trade whatever you want for them.
Really? They're so gross.
I know.
They're like chalky.
Yeah, I love them.
Ugh.
They're weird, and I will eat entirely too many of them if I have access to them.
I've never known anyone in my entire life who liked those.
Just me. What's your preference? What's your favorite?
For anyone watching who's from the States, Smarties in the States and in Canada are very different things.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I was always a huge fan whenever I got Canadian Smarties in
Oh.
my
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
trick or treat bag.
I now don't like those because they're Nestle products.
Well, I didn't know that when I was 8.
Oh no! Like when you're 8, it doesn't matter. But like as an adult, I'm like annoyed whenever I see them. Nestle is a terrible company. Okay, onwards with the game. But I will trade Smarties. I would probably keep some of. But like if you wanted like Reese's Pieces or like any of those sorts of things, peanut butter flavored
Yummy.
things, I hate those. I'm
all about chocolate.
loathe
I'll trade
them.
you Smarties for Smarties.
Yeah, true. That's fine. I like chocolate. I don't like sweet peanut butter things. Is what it comes down to.
Oh, it's my
So.
favorite.
Not a fan. Okay. Of course, I could only expect as much from Ash.
Got you, didn't I? Ha! Your face was perfect.
I guess they were wearing the mask.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh my, that's some special
Oh.
Jack in a Box, isn't it?
It's a Jack in a Box, not a mask.
Look at all those decorations. Maybe I should have gotten more for the lawn.
Straightening the display I bumped into, I watched the two women in front of me explore the aisles of latex masks and plastic weapons, clearly delighted. I walked past someone's lawn recently. This is in my Twitter account if you want to go look. And their entire front of their house was covered in Halloween decorations. It was
think I
quite
saw that.
impressive. Yeah. All right, we've got a goal here, people. How about I start on this side and we pick out a few looks that would fit?
Of course, and the costume's on me today since we all dragged you out of bed for this. What a nice aunt.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything specific in mind?
Although it did kind of imply that they like are like well they're if not rich, like comfortable.
How about dressing up as a hobgoblin? Here's the mask. Look, there's green ooze that squeezes out of this guy's pimples.
I don't think I've ever seen hobgoblin written as 2 words. I held back my gag reflex as Ash demonstrated, squeezing lumps of jelly-like ooze from the mask. The viscous substance plopped on the tile floor, pooling at her feet. Okay, you've got to buy that now, Ash. You've broken
No
it.
kidding. Well, I should clean that up.
You know what? Ash doesn't get to pick any. How about that?
All right, fine. Guessing you want to play it safe, right? Ray needs
just
to
want-
get into the spirit here.
Yeah. Well, they're going to end up with a bad ending, so I'm sure they'll get eaten by hobgoblins or something. I just want something that's not going to embarrass me, honestly. Besides, there's only so many costumes left, looks like. Okay, the trick to not being embarrassed is to be confident while wearing a stupid costume.
Heck yeah. Are you planning to go trick-or-treating tonight?
They're 19. They're going to go get drunk.
Well, it's the States, so
They're still at college.
I guess. Oh, knowing Alexa the scare queen, she'll probably invite you to some rager where everyone gets smashed and you all barf on each other before midnight.
Yep.
Rager, huh? That doesn't sound so nice.
Don't worry, Aunt Moore. Ash is just exaggerating. I don't think anyone's planning to get that wasted. I'm sure there is somebody.
Well, just know I want to keep the two of you safe. You can always call me for a designated driver if you need to. Aunt Moore's totally getting smashed by herself with a bottle of wine tonight. Wow, is Moore, my parents would freak out at the thought of me drinking. That's so cool of you.
Wow, treating adults like adults means they are more likely to be safe.
Rare in the States. I was in college not too long ago. I remember what it was like. I'm the cool aunt. I'm not like a real aunt. I'm a cool aunt.
It blew my mind when I worked at a university in the USA and there was no campus bar.
Yeah, how weird is that, huh?
And I was like, why is there no campus bar? And they're like, oh, because the students can't drink. And I'm like, but you have faculty, you have grad students, you've got employees. And I discovered that
weird.
until the 90s or something. Or relatively recently, the university I worked on was a dry campus. There was no alcohol allowed on it at all, and I'm like, I did not know that existed. But at the time I was there, they were allowed to have them at functions and events. I don't drink alcohol, but
I've never even heard of that.
Dry places in America are a lot more common than they are in Canada.
Interesting. Weird.
It's
okay.
you get counties and stuff that you can't buy alcohol in.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Just try to stay out of anything too risky. Fox News, another pun, Fox News,
Yeah.
says Halloween is the most dangerous night of the whole year after all. According to your grandmother, that is. You mean like visiting the house on the end of the block? The one with the recluse who only does his shopping through Rainforest Prime? I got it. Amazon Prime. Yep. I don't follow.
Ash thinks the house on the end of the block is haunted. Like, the guy doesn't really live there or something.
Have you ever seen him?
Well, no, but that doesn't mean he doesn't exist. We're getting off track again. There are multiple people in the building I live in that I've never seen. So, like, but they're there, but I've never met them or seen them.
Not that unusual.
Yep.
Oh, right. Well, let's get going. Meet back here in 10.
I hope we get to pick what costume we're going to wear. That would be perfect. Okay. Amanda?
Here's the roundup. Which side do you want to pick first? You know, for leftover costumes, these aren't bad.
Okay. Left. Who do we trust more?
Aunt Moore. I want to know what Aunt Moore's got.
Definitely.
She's a cool aunt.
Devil Queen, Rogue, or Princess?
Rogue.
Well, we can look at the other ones as well.
There's more. I didn't even see that.
Look at the.
Here's the roundup.
You don't have to say it again.
Oh, that was just back, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Little programming glitch there where they've looked at the wrong place. Devil, Rogue. Oh, we get to choose what gender we are, I guess. Or like what gender presentation we want to have on Halloween. So what was your preference?
Rogue.
Rogue? What gender?
The screen went black on me for some reason. Oh, there it is. I don't know. So it's...
My preference is Devil Queen.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, let's go with Devil Queen. I think I thought it was very vampire-y, but I thought it was like
I like the collar, very dramatic.
The collar's great. Okay, we're going with Devil Queen. The alluring gothic gown was adorned in tiny metallic sequins that glistened under the light. This design's dramatic and dark look drew me in, and the horn clip-ons fit comfortably. I smiled at my choice. Devilishly. I'm sure I smiled devilishly.
Ready yet? Class starts in 15.
I really thought, I did not expect the costume choices to be, that dramatic. Based on, the costumes the other two people are wearing. I stepped it from...
And based on how, reticent the main character was,
yeah.
I loved it. The horns fit so comfortably.
Yes, Devil Queen. I've embraced this as my new identity. I stepped out from behind the curtain, all dressed and unexpectedly excited to show off the threads. Aunt Moore whistled while looking me up and down. That makes me deeply uncomfortable.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
I think we've got a winner. Don't you, Ash? You look good.
Is Ash blushing?
I think so.
Aunt Moore is beaming as she comes into close to make small adjustments to the fit. How well is a Halloween costume gonna fit, really?
Right? From a generic big box store.
Yeah.
When there's one size.
Meanwhile, Ash seems to suddenly find the lights particularly interesting. Thanks, Gaz. I wouldn't have come here if it weren't for you. I don't know if this is serious or not. And Aunt Moore, are you sure about the costume? I brought my wallet along.
It's no problem. I wouldn't have offered otherwise.
Ash shyly pokes my rib and clears her throat to the side of me.
Hey, wait.
Do I get a pitchfork? Oh, okay.
Can I talk to you for a minute? Alone?
Obliging her request, we stick to the changing area as Aunt Moore heads for the checkout line. Maybe there will be dating in this game, though we don't have a choice.
Yeah, maybe. So, you know how everyone seems to like you better than me?
What, Ash?
You know it's true. I just wanted to make sure you would ditch me.
Oh.
Oh, poor Ash. I mean, Alexa's probably gonna invite you to some party or whomever. I just don't want you to leave me feeling like a loser or something because I didn't get invited.
Ash, you shouldn't even be thinking like that. Especially because it was just like, you can just come to the party as my, like, guest. Look, wherever I go tonight, I'll make sure to drag you along, okay? What, do you need me to make a pinky promise? Softening, Ash reaches out her hand to meet my own. Touching. Her dainty figure wraps around mine and she smiles once more.
Promise, dummy. She's definitely blushing.
And just like that, Ash is back to herself, insults and all. By now, Aunt Moore is all finished checking out and waves to us from the exit.
Hey, in case you've forgotten, we gotta get you two to class.
Oh, I wonder if we find out what is so interesting about her teacher. Quickly finishing our checkout, Aunt Moore floored it to Rift Valley and we barely made it on time. Oh, the 1918 influenza pandemic. Topical. One of the biggest perks of college had to be the flexible schedules. I counted it as a blessing that Ms. Ellsworth's class didn't even begin until 11. Amanda, do you remember in grad school when we had that 8 a.m. required course?
Oh, God.
I
So bad. Required and no other time.
The professors didn't like teaching them.
No.
Because they had to be there at 8 o'clock too.
Yeah, it was horrible. Which one was that? I can't remember which one that was.
I literally have no idea. But yeah, having to get up at like 6 in the morning so I could catch the bus and be on the bus for an hour to get to campus.
All of you millions streaming us right now and listening in. UBC Vancouver is located on a peninsula followed by like a forest. So literally every single person, if you don't live on campus, has to commute like an hour.
Yep,
it's
pretty
stupid.
much. It's like the University of British Columbia isn't actually technically in Vancouver.
No, it's ridiculous.
I'm sure the other students did so too, considering her rather brutal punishment policies. She's not in costume. How disappointing.
How do you know? I do like her purple hair though.
Yep.
Class has started, students. Now, who failed to complete their reading assignments last night? That's not very positive. Fess up now, and you'll only receive a 20-point reduction from your grade.
Wow.
That's not how college teachers operate.
I would drop this course immediately. Maybe they're joking? As beautiful as she was, Ms. Ellsworth's cold demeanor was enough to scare off even the most ardent of suitors. The room went silent until a single hand was raised. Benji. He stood up and made it to the front of the class.
His costume.
So weird.
Yeah, so I tried to, Miss Ellsworth, but I just think 100 pages was a bit harsh. Oh, Benji.
Benji Wells was typically a top student from what I'd gathered. He was one of the few freshmen being groomed to join the varsity football league and was pretty well liked. Oh, sounds like an uninteresting character.
Yes.
His family was even quite well off and lived in a mansion up the hill. I'm going to assume that this is just how he dresses every day.
Sounds like a D-bag,
Yeah,
to be honest.
Problem was, every now and then his mouth would get the better of him. Like now.
I mean, not to put down your judgment, but I've got Mr. Alvarez's 50 pages and Miss Potts' English test today, too. The day before Halloween, no less.
Wait, it's the day before Halloween? Why am I in costume? I
guess.
guess if Halloween's on like a Saturday, you would dress up at school on Friday.
Yeah, I think Benji needs to manage his time better.
Oh, almost certainly. He's too busy
and not
footballing.
talk back to his female professors.
It's I think it's okay to say that 100 pages of reading, if it was like assigned yesterday, is too much, but
this reminds me though of the time I went up to one of my professors after class, and I was like, so I want to talk about this paper. I think a lot of your comments were very fair. And she looked at me and she went, all my comments were fair. And I was like, oh, okay, we're done. Sorry. Okay.
it's okay.
It shouldn't be common practice to swamp us with work like this. Especially before a holiday we're helping our families with.
I'm quite confused now. Honestly, what was it with Halloween in this town? Was it really such a big deal? Yes, it is.
I doubt anyone really read all the pages and didn't just look up Sparker notes anyway, like Cliff Notes or
Sparks notes.
Spark Notes. Is that a real thing?
Yep. Closing the history textbook in her hands, Ms. Ellsworth calmly sat down at her desk.
This is just like you. You fucking degenerate.
Strong words indeed.
Did not expect that. Just take the loss and get on with your life. Stop trying to get everyone else in trouble because you can't handle getting a shit grade.
Oh boy. That was Alexa Wakerson. A complete hothead with way more power than any single student should have. As an up-and-coming tennis star, chief of the yearbook committee, and daughter to the superintendent of the district, I'm sure she could get any student expelled if she wanted to. Do universities have yearbooks?
Right? That maybe in the States?
Yeah,
I'm getting
possible.
a distinct feeling that this town is like Sunnydale, like Buffy the
Hellmouth.
Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Like the Hellmouth, yeah. Seriously, Alexa? Shouldn't that costume be like banned for your kind? Her kind.
Yeah, I'm
like a
I'm
vampire or
not
something?
digging this this
They
phrasing.
definitely live on the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
I never knew you wanted to be someone else so badly.
Oh, is she like actually a demon and she can't dress up as an angel?
I think she's a demon.
Yeah, maybe. If looks could kill, Benji would be at the bottom of a ravine. Alexa was practically seething with anger now, and the entire class held their breaths for what was to come.
Why does he look like
Surprisingly.
he's sunburnt?
I assumed he was just red, like a demon. Caught herself and huffed, calming herself down.
You know, it's pretty unfortunate that you were born without manners, class, or decency, but your outfit suggests that you're still trying. How about you just stop and accept who you are? Ooh, they're both demons.
An audible sigh left Ms. Ellsworth, no doubt from contemplating her regret over ever choosing such a profession. Both Alexa and Benji took it as their cue to sit back down. From her desk, the professor laced her fingers together and gazed at the class with menacing eyes. I'm so glad I'm not in school.
Let me open up this discussion to the whole class. Thanks that I assigned so much reading.
Okay, one of my favorite master's program was in one of my classes. One of my professors like had us look at the assigned reading. Are you gonna read all this? And, no. It's like I don't really expect you to read all this. And a different one of the first readings was like how to read a paper, and it was actually how to like not to read a paper, and it was how to like get as much as possible from like reading as little as possible. And I really appreciated those two professors for being like, I don't expect you to read this like 50-page paper like for tomorrow. Just like read the abstract and the conclusion and some other bits. That like each of the subheadings, what do they say? I thought about it. Though I had managed to finish the reading, I didn't blame Benji. Ms. Ellsworth was notorious for assigning insane amounts of homework. Reading is different from homework, I think. Ash was getting a failing grade, too. Is it unfair? Yes or no? Whatever. Let's live dangerously.
No. I mean... Oh, sorry.
You want to go with no? I haven't
I
clicked
have
yet.
plenty of classes where I had lots of readings
Okay.
in my...
no.
And you just need to get the main points, you know? Like,
Yeah, I think it's fine. I gulped, preparing myself for what I was going to say. No, Ms. Ellsworth. I think 100 pages was a bit cruel. Oh, wait. I guess we chose the wrong thing.
Oh. Looks like I'll have to take your opinions into account next time after all. Did you click the wrong one?
I clicked no, but I think it was...
Coded wrong or something?
I can't remember what the question was.
The question was, do you think it was fair? Oh, so no, it's not fair.
Yeah, no, it's not fair.
Oops.
Our reading comprehension failed.
Maybe we should have done our readings in college.
Yeah, clearly.
As for today, Mrs. Potts seems to be setting a good example.
Wow, would you really refer to your students as Mrs.?
Oh, that was a student. Oh, that's stupid. Ms. Ellsworth is really kind of a
Pop
shit teacher.
quiz. Oh yeah, she's terrible.
You're right, Benji. I don't know who really read the chapters or not, so how about a pop quiz? Who does
Okay.
pop quizzes in university? That's stupid.
Yeah, I honestly I have no idea. I don't know how American universities work. I played another game a couple months ago, another visual novel called Watch Me Jump, which is about a women's basketball player in the WNBA. And at some point, they were doing Russian homework.
What?
And my undergrad degree was in Russian. And I got like every answer correct. And I was so pumped because you actually had to choose which one it was. I was like, yeah. My like
Did not know it.
15-year-old Russian knowledge coming in useful in video games.
I did not know that about you. Also, to answer your other point, I think that in general, U.S. universities are a lot more like patronizing towards their students than probably the rest of the world. And I think it starts around what we were talking about earlier, around like drinking. Like they just continue to treat students like children.
Yeah. The class collectively awed and took turns glaring daggers into Benji's skull. What's the pop quiz on? Resigned to my fate, I spent the rest of class scratching my head at half the questions of Ms. Ellsworth Pop's quiz. This couldn't possibly be worth more than 20% of our grade, right? Well, it would be on the syllabus.
Yeah, clearly American universities are very different.
I think it's more fictional universities are very different from real universities. I really don't know if I did well on that test or not. All I could do was leave it up to the Scantron gods, I guess. Wow, it's a Scantron? Like,
wow.
If you have a pop, you're not going to have Scantron ready if it's a pop quiz.
That requires like prior planning, doesn't it?
I guess maybe she just carries around Scantron all the time in case she has to do a pop quiz.
Yeah, but you have to like deter like A, B, C, and D. Anyway,
yeah,
okay.
You can choose that afterwards, I'm sure. Okay, let's try and maybe get
Considering
to
the defeated
some
looks on all your faces. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think we've all learned a thing or two today. Yeah, that Ms. Ellsworth's a bitch.
Yeah, but you're a complete slave driver.
Now, taking into consideration your feelings towards homework on Halloween,
10-page essay.
I won't be assigning any tonight. I do hope you all have a lovely night celebrating the festivities.
And then she laughed like a supervillain.
She's going to turn into a demon tonight. I certainly will.
Oh, she is a witch.
She's a demon. And do stay safe, class. Wink, wink.
Ms. Ellsworth leaves the class to her own devices with a coy smile that had my heart skipping a beat.
Like in a crush way or in like a bad things are going to happen way?
Well, the crush. The professor might have been a sadistic fiend, but that didn't deter her from her femme fatale manner. I think being a sadistic fiend adds to her femme fatale manner.
I think she's both.
Oh, in fact, it only flamed it.
All right, guys. I wanted to come up and apologize. I shouldn't have said those things to Miss Ellsworth and got us all punished. I'm sorry.
Benji stood up looking like a lost pup, his ears practically drooping. No forgiveness. Oh, definitely no forgiveness.
No forgiveness for D-bags.
I don't know, Benji. That was a pretty douchey move.
Hey, that's what I said.
As if a dam broke, Benji curled in on himself, looking as though he'd break out into tears.
You're so obvious, Benji.
Alexa pushed her way past the crowd of exiting students, her angel wings knocking down books and flyers.
How about I give you a treat to move aside?
That's weird. Preparing for another verbal match between the two, I sit back down and remove myself from their range. Aggressive as ever, Alexa slides Benji's papers aside and plants herself on my desk. Benji just sidesteps her.
I've got Mr. Alvarez's class up anyway. But my family's hosting a gathering tonight if you want to come.
We're not going to be able to get blitz drunk at Benji's parents' gathering.
Hope to see you there.
With one last toothy grin, he casually flicks one of Alexa's fake wings and shuffles off. Alexa's pinky ring is weirding me out. I don't know why.
She's either a lesbian or an engineer. Or both.
I don't know those stereotypes, but sure.
Oh, right, that's me. Now that the mom girl's out of the way, how about you take me up on my invitation instead?
You haven't invited me to anything. Combing her hand through her hair, Alexa watched me with acute wonder, as if gazing at a plaything.
You know, as the new kid, you've been drawing a lot of attention lately.
Because this university only accepts one student a year.
Right. Yeah. So you'd be perfect at my party. Yeah, intakes every year. It's only a couple new people every year.
Yeah.
Come to the Drifted Springs condos at 11?
I guess Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. If it was like
No.
January, it's like maybe we started in January, not a lot of students do, but it's like October.
Or maybe this person's like a transfer like they did community college and then transferred second year.
I guess, I don't know. Or maybe everyone's local and I'm the only non-local person.
Okay, maybe.
The enchantress in front of me leans in, her eyes piercing and hypnotic. I felt myself slink deeper into my chair as if all the muscles in my body were being soothed into a state of ease.
Hypnotizing.
I blinked and then the moment was gone. Alexa was still hovering over me, anticipating an answer. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
She seems boring, but like I want to go to a Halloween party personally.
She seems like boring. Like I feel like there's better parties out there.
So just no thanks, and we can hang out with our friend.
Yeah, we'll go to a better party.
No thanks. Let's go find out what the art students are doing. No, but thank you, Alexa. I think I might have plans already for tonight. Sitting at home and watching horror movies.
All right, well, suit yourself. Ash will take you somewhere cool.
Yep.
Just know I'll be in my best, and if you decide to come by, I thought Halloween was tomorrow.
I don't know.
The door will be open.
I think it's probably just a mistake in the writing.
Oh, and one more thing.
Grabbing onto the fabric of my costume, Alexa pulls me in close enough for me to breathe in the fruity scent of her shampoo. Wow, this lady is very forward.
Really, lapping it on here.
Blowing a kiss within just centimeters of my face.
What?
Alexa leaves me at a loss for words and giggles as she releases me to plop back ungracefully into my chair. This is wild. This is unexpected.
Was that the one more thing?
I guess so. By the time I snap out of the trance she's left me in, the next bell is rung, and I'm left with only Ash in the room, her features pinched in a peeved expression. Wordlessly, Ash packs up her bags and heads for the door.
Aw, she's jealous.
But I catch her hand as she's leaving. Ash, just let me exp. Her bubblegum cigarette has fallen to the floor, and I feel her hand tremble in my own. Suddenly, tears well up in her eye. What? Her heartbroken expression catches me off guard, and I freeze, not knowing what to do. I said I wasn't going to the party. Ash snatches her hand away from my grasp and runs off. Teenagers.
Drama.
I call out to her, but she doesn't look back. Sighing, I look up at the clock overhead. I'm already 5 minutes late now. Guess I'd better head to class. I couldn't process the events that just occurred, all within minutes of each other. Just what was that? The remaining classes went by smooth, with the exception being that I never saw Ash throughout the rest of the day. Well, that's not unusual for university. Ms. Ellsworth was the only one I had with her, after all, but I still typically would have found her in the lounge or cafeteria in between breaks. All I wanted to do was apologize and set things right with her. But she wasn't answering any of my texts, and I didn't know where to look next. Come on, Ash. At least let me explain. It wasn't as if Ash and I were dating or anything, but ever since my first week in Marbrook, she had been enthusiastic in her attempts to get along with me. At first, I thought it was just Aunt Moore being close to her parents that pressured her to spend time. But the more I got to know Ash, I realized she was just lonely. Aw. She probably felt so ostracized from this rural town where the people had their own cliques and secrets they didn't care to share with anyone. I sighed, checking my phone again for any replies to the messages that I had sent her. Nothing. Ash, where are you? I raced across the grounds, growing more anxious with every lead turned cold. Deciding it would be best to check her home next, I sent her parents a text to tell them about my arrival. Whoa, you're texting your friend's parents? Wild.
That's kind of weird.
It was evening by the time I arrived at Ash's, the neighborhood porch lights flickering on in sync. Trick or treat. Ash's parents replied that they were out of town again. They were supportive parents from what I could tell, but had to leave for work often. They're also
both
demons,
of them
I
at
assume.
once?
They're demons. I knocked on the door politely, hoping to see Ash, though still unsure of what to say. Oh yeah, my favorite thing in every visual novel, ... It's in every one I've ever played, I think. There was no answer, and it didn't look like anyone was home. Ash's bedroom window was dark. Where could she have gone? Marbrook's stores and businesses all but shut down for Halloween, with everyone so absorbed in the festivities. Well, I guess maybe she's at the festivities? So there weren't many places she could be. At least not the typical hangouts I'd find her at, the craft store, guitar center, or pet shop. I laughed quietly to myself. I never met someone so spontaneous as Ash before. Someone who just randomly ditched history for the sake of petting some puppies. The weight in the pit of my stomach grew heavier at the thought. I closed my eyes, recalling the events that started this whole mess.
Oh, Ash is such a manic pixie dream girl. Just like, every boy's fantasy with no personality. She's so spontaneous.
Alexia was being flirtatious as usual, though she took it to a whole new level today. Honestly, I couldn't even react in the moment, and that led to Ash's tears. I've never seen her cry before, and in the moment, she took off so quick I didn't even notice. ... again. I just needed to find her, if only to know she was safe. Gathering a list of checkpoints in my head, I headed to the park to continue my search. Ooh, a black kitty. Along the trailway that led to the park, I met a friend meowing softly beside the hedges. Yay, a friend. The familiar black cat gazed up at me in perfect recognition, despite my, devil queen outfit. Not long after moving here, I often crossed paths with this cat and started feeding her when I could. Strangely, she would always coolly reject any cat food and go straight for whatever lunch I had on hand. Of course, with the smell of those things, I didn't blame her. How are you doing there today? Oh my gosh, I hope you get to play the cat and meow at me. Halloween working out for you? Come on. Oh. Set on my destination, I continued my stride as she turned to stroll alongside me. Following me, huh? Well, I'm not sure you want to do that. Luck doesn't seem to be on my side today. I smiled at the irony. Meow. According to superstition, black cats were unlucky by default and were to be avoided at any costs. Thing is, my luck went sour before you came today. As if she understood, the graceful feline mewed in response. Humoring the situation, I decided to keep talking. Yeah, a lot of things happened. I got roped into a few too many plans and hurt the only real friend I've got here. She might not even want to talk to me after this. I sighed dejectedly as we rounded the corner in the park.
I think it's Ash. I think the cat is Ash.
I looked around to no avail. Could be. Finally giving in the need to take a break, I collapsed onto a stone bench. Searching since the time class ended left me exhausted, and by now the last remaining gleams of sunlight were escaping past the horizon. My feline friend joins me, transfixed on my reactions. I laughed under my breath. You know, if I were to lose her, I don't know what I'd do. But here I am, not even able to keep searching. Should I try to send one last message? Yeah, whatever. Just one.
I mean, I hope Ray isn't coming across as, creepy.
Well, to be fair, this is the person that would not stop calling our phone this morning.
Oh, yeah, that is true. All right, one more message.
I decided to just try one last time. Texting Ash to stay safe and call me back when she could was all I could do now. The rest would be up to her. I bite my lip in frustration. The headache I had been nursing since this morning had compounded tenfold, and a ringing in my ears interrupted any coherent thoughts. Ung. I said that before. Fuck. I cursed in pain. While running around for half the day, I clearly neglected to hydrate and pace myself, or eat food, probably. Black dots raced across my line of vision. My feline companion nestled a step closer, attempting to comfort me as she watched my pain rise. Every second that passes, it all grows less and less bearable, and I lay back, hoping to calm my body down. What's going to happen?
No, it's pretty intense.
I pass out before my head even touches the cool stone. That is quite intense. I'm going to blame the costume.
From a headache?
I'm going to blame the costume. I assume it's got a corset involved in it. And so it's not very good to run around in. This could be you.
Oh, darling. My darling. You're in pain, I know. It's okay. It's all okay. I'll make it go away. Just you wait for me. We'll be together soon.
Spooky. Gradually waking up, I groaned as the aches in my back. The stone bench was close to freezing now, as chills of cold wind blew by. My feline friend had left, and the moon was already peeking through the clouds. How long was I out for? Straightening myself up with a heave, I checked my phone. 10:44. Low battery and 3 messages, none of which were from Ash. Great. All my efforts today were in vain. I had promised Ash I'd spend Halloween with her, but had little hope of fulfilling that now. Should I just go home? I wondered if it would be worth it to catch any of my invitations I was given for the night, considering my state. I was still in my costume after all. Sighing, I decided to at least head back closer to home. I was blocked by our resident black cat, making yet another appearance. Squatting down to meet her gaze, I smiled gently. Sorry, bud. I don't have any snacks today. Looks like I really messed up, huh? Her dark color blended into the shadows underneath, yet bright eyes stared back at me intently. I pet her softly, and she leaned into my caress, tail dancing as she purred. As I moved down to stroke her paws, I noticed something wet coating her fur. Is it blood?
It's blood.
This was blood? I stared at my blood-stained hand incredulously. Alarmed, I checked her for any injuries. But she suddenly leaps up just outside my grasp. Shit. Inside her mouth is my phone? What? Oh, the cat is biting the phone. The glass screen cracking as her fangs bite down.
Okay.
I lunge for it, but she dodges easily. That's unexpected. Pivoting, she sprints off down the avenue with me close behind. That's a lightweight phone for a cat to be able to carry it. I'm close enough to grab her before she dives down an embankment that causes me to lose my footing. Oh, that shaking is annoying. Tumbling down into an unfamiliar road, I cut my knee open and hear a bone fracture upon impact.
What?
Oh, this could be a bad ending already. We clearly should have chosen to go to one of the parties. Pain shoots through me. An agonized cry escapes. Breathing harshly, I squint to find any signs of light. A clue to where I was. A signal for help. Somebody. Help. Hello. I need help. Only the darkness answered. Sucking in a deep breath, I push aside the pain and heave myself up. The sharp grip beneath me digs into my palms. Somebody. I need help. I guess it did warn us that there was like some amount of violence in this. I called out until my voice grew hoarse. Bleeding, broken, and drained, I couldn't even drag my body forward. It was all I could do to continue surveying my surroundings for a sign of respite. Yikes. Oh no. Granting my wish, I saw a pair of lights make their way towards me. Do you think they're eyes or a car?
I think, well, they look like eyes, but
Here.
yeah, it could be car headlights.
Hoping it's a car. But I think it's like a devil dog.
Devil eyes.
Desperate, I extend my hand. The lights encroach toward me faster and faster until I wake up aching. Oh, wait. I made it. I could feel everything. The cuts, scrapes, and bruises scattered across my body. The burn from my broken ankle. But pain meant I was alive. I had miraculously survived. A croak of a laugh escaped me. Rolling myself over, I looked up towards the dawn sky. Orange hues and blood-red clouds blanketed the expanse above.
The hellmouth is opened!
Before me, a red sun engulfed the horizon. I choked back a sob in disbelief. This couldn't be right. Shaking now, I pushed myself up to my feet. Strange. My body was so clearly beaten and bruised, but I was able to stand up just fine. As if my body was weightless. Oh, am I a ghost? I look up towards the direction of the set call. You were the one who got me here. I stared at the cat, frozen, unable to take in what was going on. She waved her tail listlessly, waiting. As if spellbound, I followed. Reaching an antiquated-looking manner, the black cat sparred me on one last time before jumping forth. That just went through the door. Through the door. I gasped, open mouth. This all had to be a dream. I was going to say, this is the most advanced cat door I've ever seen. That's right. Like the bizarre voices I'd been hearing in my sleep. Maybe a dream. A gateway into my subconscious, right? But in that case, there could be anything behind that door. I hesitantly brushed my fingers across the brass handle. Should I, knock?
Open the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open the door.
Knocking is a good idea.
I wrapped my fingers around the handle. I draw in one last slow breath and told myself what was to come. The door slid open with ease, and I was presented to a grand and expansive Victorian-styled foyer. Large windows and a sunroof bathed the space in scarlet luminescence, while delicate items were displayed alongside the walls.
Move in.
Is this somebody's home?
Where's the options?
I didn't have any voices, but heard light steps coming from above me. Hello? Excuse me? ... No one answered, but the repetitive steps were getting louder. I stepped forward under the flickering blue lights of the chandelier. I made out a masculine voice calling out from a flight upstairs. The words are hard to make out. From my post, I watch a man descend the stairs.
Just how do these things get lost all the time?
I stand there awkwardly, waiting to catch his attention. The man's gaze, previously transfixed in his search, met mine. Caught off guard, he coughs and grabs the railing to steady himself. Hungover?
Rather bad practice, entering into a man's home uninvited.
Look, the cat clearly invited us.
Yeah, I agree.
Confused at what to say, I mutter out an apology. I'm sorry. You left the door open?
They did not. It was closed.
An uncomfortable silence passes. The man clears his throat one more time.
Have you found it, dear?
A beautiful woman gracefully glides in from the next room. Her long hair is woven into a braid that cascades past her knees. Whoa, that is long hair.
That's pretty long.
It's a style I don't see often. I assume it's a wig, honestly.
Well, a visitor interrupted me.
With a distant demeanor, the woman scrutinized me. She ended it with a nod in acknowledgement.
Her eyes are bright pink.
So is her lipstick.
And it matches her lips and her eyebrows.
Yep.
I appreciate the look. It seems the cat has dragged in someone of interest.
Now, in fairness, my eyeshadow does kind of match my hair today.
Of course, why wouldn't it?
Not
Naturally.
my eyebrow hair, though. So,
No, I mean the eyebrow matching, that's commitment.
No, yeah, I don't think that looks good.
Perhaps you should see what they want.
The man takes his turn in studying me up and down. He seemed to take note of my costume.
Humph. At least you good taste.
Isn't it like ripped and stuff? Maybe you did that, I guess.
Right? Bloody.
I try to concentrate on the conversation, but a dull ache rapes, the sort of another migraine.
Well, it's a little early for that.
What was this? These two people I didn't know were just casually talking. It wasn't like many of the dreams I'd had before. Excuse me, I just need to know what's going on. Where is this? Can you tell me? The man sighed, bringing a hand up to massage his temples.
Always the same questions with you humans, isn't it?
Humans? Can you just tell me who you are?
Seems you've had a long day. Perhaps it'd be best if you sit and rest for a bit and collect your thoughts.
My vision was giving me trouble. Maybe it was the lights? And what did you mean, collect my thoughts? Actually, I just want to know where this is, if you don't mind, ma'am. I reflexively bowed my head a bit. This woman looked so regal in her dress and mannerisms that I couldn't help it. Blackout. A sudden shock of pain rips through my skull and I squeeze my eyes shut, wincing. I can hardly see anything, can't feel anything else but the pain. Breathing raggedly, I just cradled my head until the ache started to dissipate. Horns. Devil creatures. As I came to, my blurred vision sharpened, revealing an entirely different scene in front of me. Were those horns? Her color didn't change. The man whom I just saw previously with pale skin was rummaging through a box of children's toys, intent on finding a particular item. I gasped, reeling back. After waiting for me to recover from the spasm of pain I had experienced, the man finally stands back up to respond. Meeting my gaze, he finally answers my question.
I think you know who I am. He's the devil.
I did. Gulping, I pressed forward. Dave, I needed to hear it. So just tell me. He gives it a long sigh.
Tonight, I'm just a man preparing for his son's first birthday.
Okay, remember at the beginning how I said I hope the devil's door was just like people knocking on the devil's door and bothering him?
Saying, go,
That's
go
what
away.
happened in the game. We didn't knock, though. We just barged in.
No, it was very rude of us.
What? I didn't understand any of this. A birthday party? Today is your kid's birthday?
Of course, it's mine too.
As if something had caught his eye, he makes a hurried dash across the room. Finally finding what he's been looking for, he holds up the object proudly. A baby bottle? He presents it to the woman happily, stroking her lower back in a loving manner.
Here it is, honey. My thanks, darling. I'll prepare the candles now.
For the first She returns the way she came, through a brightly lit room where I can detect the aroma of potpourri. I don't get it. What was this dream supposed to mean? Oh, like dreams mean anything. The strain from my thoughts brings back an ache in my head. I struggled to go along with the conversation. Both of your birthdays are on the same day? Isn't that a little strange? It happens.
Is there a day more fitting than the very Day of the Dead?
Easter. The pulsing ache was taking over again, and I bit back a pained groan.
Ah, must be the residual memories flooding back. I'll give you a minute with that.
Am I a demon? No, he said we were human.
Yeah.
As if a dam were just broken, I kneel over from the onslaught of information pouring into my consciousness. Okay. That's right. I died then. Oh, I did die. The feeling of having my bones being crushed, of having my flesh being eaten, came surging back onto me, despite my anguished attempts in pushing them away. I retched, but nothing came out. That damn cat. Darn cat. Shaking now, I looked back up to the devil in front of me. Just what happened to me? What was that thing? I bent over, staring at my hands. What am I now, a ghost?
Why, you are now a lost soul.
How do I get back? How do I get back to my life? I couldn't help myself from raising my voice or shaking with anger. But as if I had struck a chord, the devil began to grow fangs as his sharp horns darkened.
There is no turning back. Death is final.
That can't be right. It can't be right, all right. I need to get back. He only sighs, mumbling under his breath. It's not like I had anything great I had to do. I guess like hang out with my friend.
Right? Endgame. Eject.
Look, I need you to help me. I'll do anything.
What I can do is bring you a new life. A second life, living as one amongst us.
Amongst us? That game where you're on a space station? And there's a traitor and some of you are like space aliens? Among us? I struggled to grasp the meaning of his words. You don't mean a monster like you?
Truly, humankind's insurmountable plight. A millennia gone by and you're still all the same.
I felt a prick of rage rise as he said those words. Well, you are a monster. Oh my gosh. And how do I even know you're not like the other one? The one who ate me. Despite how worked up I was, the devil just answered me evenly.
And what is a hero but one who slays monsters?
His words might have meant something if I weren't on such a tirade. But I'm a good person. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm barely 19. I don't deserve whatever this is.
So whiny. Didn't do anything wrong?
I'm sure I would complain as well if like this was my afterlife and I was 19.
The optimism you humans hold. Always thinking about your prayers and your deeds.
Balling my fist. That's the wrong balling. I stare at him defiantly.
And just what made you believe they'd have any meaning after death?
I'll have you know, I have a quite unpopular podcast that some people listen to. He sighs in exasperation.
Well, lucky for you, you've been vouched for.
Vouched for? Oh, the kitty cat, I hope.
So let's make a deal.
The red-skinned man turned and hums to himself leisurely. He pivots back with a laugh and bright eyes.
I'll need you to collect candy. Just one.
Just one.
If you can manage.
Candy? Amused by my look of utter confusion, the devil dips into one of the many doors of the manor before returning.
Every year, I hold a ritual of sorts. To celebrate my day of remembrance, I hold a competition for the ghouls and the demons of the town. If they bring me a living soul to feast on, I in turn give them one of these.
Maybe Candy is a person. He holds up what looks like a treat. The wrapper crunches as I take it in my hand. It honestly looks like some sort of like badge or like blowing glass thing you'd buy on
It's
Etsy.
really confusing looking.
It's cute though.
It's
I don't
just
know.
floating in air.
Its grim print is that of a severed eyeball. A living soul? So what was I holding in my hand? Was the life of a person? Is this some sort of sick joke? You're telling me you play a game every year just to kill people? My body shook with anger. I grinded my teeth with the candy clutched in my left hand. Undeterred, the devil briskly walked behind me towards the front door.
A sign of my favor. A life for a life.
He turned again, locking my gaze. With an extended hand, he smiles widely.
Now, a deal?
Oh. What do you
I
want
don't
to do?
really understand what the deal is.
Well, we have to go kill somebody.
What do we do with the candy? We like give it to someone? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I thought we had to kill someone to get the candy. But the candy.
No, we're the life that's being sacrificed, I thought.
Anyway, what do you want to do? Yes or no?
Someone else sacrificed us? I'm confused.
I'm kind of going with no.
Yeah.
I think let's not have a deal. I feel this will lead to a bad end, and then we can end the stream to some extent.
No deal.
No deal. The devil furrowed his eyebrows, but gave in, dropping his gaze. His broad shoulders slumped as he reaches for the door handle.
Unfortunate. You don't know how generous our business is done
sorry.
here. Oh yeah, I was sorry.
I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Relieved he was letting me off the hook, I thanked him for his time.
There would be a waste to have you wither away into the night.
Just then, the click from the lock resonates through the foyer.
Uh-oh.
His features twist in a wicked way, teeth sharpening and eyes bleeding red. The look he gives me sends chills through my spine.
It's so rare. The delivery sends itself.
Bad end. No deal.
Oh no! We should have taken the deal.
It's fine.
What happened to Ash? What happened to the cat?
I guess we find out in some of the 7 other endings to this game. But this was, I don't know, it was cute. I'll go back to, let me go back to this one. Nope. This one. Hi. Yeah. So thanks for joining us while we played Devil's Door. That was just one of the, I think 7 or 8 endings that exist in this thing. It's part of the Spooktober visual novel jam, so you can just download this game and check it out if you want to. I'm curious to see, like, there seems like a lot of game here, and it seems like there's a lot of different routes that you can take. So I'm curious to see what else there is in this game. But you can check it out there. You can also check out my podcast, Book Club for Masochists, a reader's advisory podcast, bookclub4m.com, or just search for Book Club for Masochists on any podcasting app. Thank you, Amanda, for joining me this evening. I'll be back again next Friday for the Friday night Spooktacular visual novel stream, when we'll be streaming, I don't remember what, but another Spooktober visual novel thing. So thanks
Can't wait to see the next podcast. Business nonfiction. Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, that's not spooky at all. But anyway, yes, that will be out soon as well. Thanks for joining us. So stay safe and stay safe and stay spooky. Yep. And have a great evening.